Nope. Here we go, put the camera a little higher. Woo. Okay. Anywho. Oh. The workshop waifu is looking at us. But anyway. Gonna be making some Hulkbuster style armor. There we go. Got a sketch of the general design and some reference pictures, of course. And one of my Hulkbuster pictures seems to have wandered away, but yeah, I think I got what I need. To be making a more popular armor set for the power armor here. Because the Yggdrasil, of course, is not a very well-known power armor set from Halo Legends. So I figure, why not make something a little more popular? I'm just gonna pop the power armor batteries in, power armor's battery in, then move it around a bit, I guess. As soon as I move the waifu out of the way. She isn't programmed with anything yet, so she's a empty shell. You can't blame her. Her, I don't know. Come on. Let's get away from the power armor. Don't want you getting hurt. There we go. Put you over there for now. Mm-hmm. Oh, why don't we rotate a little bit? She's also a shot, huh? There we go. So I'll just put the power armor's battery on its back. Whoop. Good. Crackle, crackle. Let me see if I can find the lift's battery. Maybe lower it down. Battery, 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 battery. Well, I suppose we can make do with its current position. Okay. Oh, it's supposed to be open. I haven't glued some of the PVC bits, so naturally it is a little janky. But, Oh. There we go. Power armor is closed. Now just reach inside. Give one of the arms a little test so you know what we're dealing with here. If I can manage to reach in there. There we go. And yeah, that is one powered arm, I guess. So, I suppose we'll begin with the chest plate, which is those man boobs right there. Inch and a half, 4.5, so that's 3, 2.5, 4.5, 6. Okay, so 6 is to so that's good. We'll go with 54. 6 goes into 54 9 times. So every inch on the paper should be approximately 9 inches IRL. Which would mean on the paper it is about 9-ish inches tall. 9 times 9 is 81. Is the power armor 81 inches? Probably not. Alright, it's 81 inches at its the very tip of the helmet. So pretty darn close. Probably want to go with Ginasa waifu. Yep, kind of inspired by some of the Frank's mech designs because, weebs like that sort of thing. So it's just essentially a little tool holder where I can, put all my tools, and once I get it programmed, we'll be having a bit of a facial recognition to follow my face around and drive the motors, and an optional remote to control it as well. And in addition, have some rudimentary voice commands because doing all this stuff in Python is really, really easy once you get the hang of it. So the little waifu here is like a good thing to do, quick to promote stuff like at conventions or whatever. If I don't want to bring all the mechs, or I'm not allowed to have a vending space, I could just bring this along and introduce it to people. Also driving around like fairs and all that sort of stuff. Yes, I am also on Discord. I'm on several servers. I don't have my own because, well, I don't want to deal with the headache of actually trying to be an admin for all that shenanigans because, well, I'm just a mod for one Discord, and that is a bit of a pain in the bum. And that's just being one of many mods, never mind being the only mod for my own server or whatever. And I'd have to delegate people and onboard them, and big crazy mess. So let's see. Measure the torso. 39 inches. 39 divided by 9. That is approximately 36. 6 1/4. That can't be right. 5, no 5, no 4, 5. Yeah, about 5 inches, which is about the right proportions for it. Yep, on janky. Oh, you're a master engineer on Discord. Who's that again? I'm awful with names. But if you're a master engineer, where's your giant robot, huh? Huh? I'm just messing with you. For each boob plate for the Hulkbuster, I'll say it's about 14 inches wood. Yeah, I'm crap with lots of names, so I'm sorry. I'm crap with names. I had a long, boring day doing data entry, so I'm a little spaced out at the moment. Get over there. So we will get the cardboard. And I guess start cutting. Not going to be streaming very long, maybe a total of 45 minutes. Oh yeah, you're the hydraulic dude. Yeah, well. There's a reason why the hacksmith had to put their hydraulic power loader on a their skidster base. I'll tell you that. But it doesn't hurt to try. Worst case scenario, you just end up with another Megabot, I suppose. It's going to be real fun, though, when I tell Matt about my competition this fall, if it ever gets decided that there can actually be combat at the competition or not. That will be interesting. Then I actually have to find people near me who are crazy enough to want to work with me to build a giant robot, but you might never know. Well, the thing is, a lot of people start out with their ideas for power armor. They can get the moving part down. However, controls, not so much. Because, like, okay, you've got these big hulking pistons or whatever. How are you going to control it? Me, I started in the opposite direction. I came up with the control system, then built the power armor around that. And of course, it's ridiculously cheap and easy to repair, diagnose, and whatever, so that means it's economical, and businessmen love their economical solutions now, don't they? Just squeak it down there. I'm glad you said NASA Ava suits and not just Ava suits, because in my mind we've gone to Evangelion. Alright. 1.5 times 9. 13. So we're going to do the 13. 14. There we go. And 8, I guess. 9, why not? Zoop, zoop. Okay, let's see here now. We've got curve. Doot, doot. There we go. Oh, more text. Yeah, see that's a problem. Putting all the effort into the customized parts and so forth. I mean, personally, I'm a fan of buying off the shelf stuff, because that way you can focus on actually building the thing rather than having to worry about fiddling with all the little pieces and so forth. But if you can find someone to outsource your parts manufacturing, kudos to you. Because there's lots of people who start the road to necromancy and they end up being halted simply because, well, it is a very tough thing to do. It's not all just fun and games and stomping around in your giant mech suit. It's mostly fiddling about little itsy bitsy tiny things that nobody would care about in the first place. So it's kind of a miracle that I have as many subscribers as I do, while having such uninteresting content. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I should get chat on my phone so I don't have to keep peering over at the computer every 2 seconds. Because for this beastie right here, I probably spent at most $1,000. Probably a lot less, especially if I didn't, fry one of the battery packs to begin with. That cost $100. Because each arm motor costs about 40-ish bucks. That's 8 arm motors and a couple $100 of motors right there, and I've also started to infiltrate the Hacksmith Discord, so as soon as I level up in their goofy little chat thingamajig, they're going to be becoming aware of my mechs. And boy, aren't they going to look a little silly. Spending $10,000 just to make a little punchy glove. No offense to them, but no, I could probably build a punchy glove for a lot less than $10,000. Starting to think my knife is dull. Is my camera showing anything? Oh wow, chat is really far behind. Wow. Oh wait, no, just a delay. There we go. No, I'd say the biggest thing people have is they've got preconceived notions of what giant robots and how armor should be. So they end up being blinded to what they could be, if you catch my drift. They expect to make a big hydraulic machine or what have you, when, you can accomplish the same thing in lots of different ways. But materials do indeed put a big damper on a lot of people because, one second, I'll show you. Like this piece of sheet metal costs about $50, $60, and it's not even all that thick. So price can get quite up there. And also, people don't realize that how much strength complex three-dimensional geometry can hold. So they then use like heavy chunks of metal or whatever, when you could probably get away with a similar, the same complex shape, but with thinner walls. Oh yeah, 3D printers. I got myself a Da Vinci Junior, which worked brand new, right out of the box. However, the only problem is that it tends to have a filament chip to track how much filament you use, so you don't quote unquote run out. But in reality, it's a scheme to hose you for only being able to buy their filament. But But see what I did, I found a way to create my own chips. Someone put the instructions online. So not only do I have a very easy 3D printer, but I also can make my own filament chips and use whatever filament I please. Just about. Where to put my permanent marker? Except for, flexible filaments, because it's a Bowden extruder. So the drive wheel for the extruder is far away from the extruder head, so it does some funky stuff when I try to put, flexible filament in there. Then I seem to be out of permanent markers. Oh, maybe this orange one will do. Yeah. Zoop, boop, boop. Yeah. See, the cool thing about this power armor right here is, one sec. The straps. One. Whoop. Two. Okay. There we go. The pilot's arms aren't even in the mech arms, so makes it a lot safer, kind of. However, you do lose the ability to get any direct feedback from the arms. But you also get the freedom of movement from not having your arms in the mech arms. And I am thinking about making a Madoc 01 armor set for this thing, so I can actually have my arms kind of on the mech arms. And that way I can have a little bit of feedback and a thinner chest. Well, see, the power armor is actually controlled with relays on the backpack. I'd use a camera and sneak it around, but I gotta do some checks with the connections on the camera's extension cord, so unfortunately not this stream, but each motor is controlled by a relay, and in this box right here has a bunch of buttons in it. Maybe I've got a spare under here. Let me check. Hello. No. Well, anyway, it's pretty much press a button here, makes the motor go one way. Press a button on the opposite side, motor goes the other way. Well, you see, the thing is, here, why don't I get one of these motors to show you exactly what I'm talking about. And this is a motor right here. You can see it kind of looks like a piston, but it's got a gearbox that transforms the rotating motion from the motor into a linear motion. Yeah, thanks, Ren. I'm going to try to do more live streaming sort of stuff of me just putting around in the workshop, so maybe get my view hours up, maybe be able to get monetized. Who knows? Oh yes, hydraulics, but then you got to worry about designing the hydraulic system, and that's a lot of complications that, frankly, I don't want to deal with. Not a lot of people want to deal with because barely anyone can, bleed their brakes. Never mind do the hydraulics on their power armor or whatever. But can't hurt to try. Just I think a lot about how my stuff would work in a marketing sense. Because you can have the coolest thing in the world, but if nobody can afford to buy it, or if they buy it, nobody can do maintenance on it or whatever, people wouldn't be that interested in it. Or they'd have the whole thing of, I wish it was this, I wish it was that. And, hopes and wishes don't give you fishes to eat. I have considered 3D printing parts. It's just I don't trust 3D prints much. I don't trust them for load-bearing things. Like the controllers there, these are 3D printed. It's just I don't have a very strong trust in plastic. I probably should, but I don't, even though I use PVC in the shins or whatever, but that PVC has had a good track record because I've worked with it quite a bit. I pretty much know its limitations. There we go. That crap. Carbon fiber sounds expensive. I was gonna say that. And then again, it's like, okay, you can print carbon fiber, but is it just like carbon fiber suspended in plastic, or what? Because there's a couple people out there. There's like Bej Harper, for example. He invested a lot of money into his, mech or whatever, and unfortunately, for some reason, he had to stop it. Oh, this is a scrap piece. Yeah. It's just. What does that look? Aha! Not bad, I suppose. Needs to get a little narrower, I think. But right there is a good height. It started to rain. I'll be right back. I just gotta go get something out of the house. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Well, you know what they say? It ain't the paintbrush; it's the artist. So you got to know how to use your paintbrushes and all that hoo-ha. Come on. Boom, boom, do. Anyway, okay. So I'll be ending the stream probably in about 20 minutes or so. I can faff around in the meantime, I guess. Make it a little more narrow. There we go. Get some good angles here. That's one bad thing about this place. It has such a high contrast, you know. There we go. We're just going to do the other side. Also, an important thing about mechnomancy is no matter how many simulations you do on a computer, nothing, absolutely nothing, compares to building stuff in real life. Because real world introduces a whole bunch of things that you probably wouldn't have even thought of. Like crazy tolerances and leverage, my oh my, leverage. You would be surprised how much leverage is in a single human arm. There we go. How's that? Much better. Much better. So I'm doing that. Ish. Yep, throwing wood. Is that actually throwing stuff, or is that a technical term? Because with like the leverage for this thing, the arms are probably, let's say 3 feet long. And I've got the actuators positioned for the shoulder, so it's about, I don't know. We'll say it's a foot away from the fulcrum. So that means for the shoulder, lifting at the hand. There we go. So if you got your actuator settled a foot down from the shoulder, going up, but your arm is 3 feet long, it's then multiplied by the proportions. So 1, 2, you'll try to lift 40 pounds at the hand. The motor is subject to 80 pounds. So leverage is a pain. Oh, is that what it is? Thrown weight is the perceived weight. No, the more you know. So yeah, I know the descriptors, I just don't know the fancy engineering terms. Since I only had a single semester of engineering, because I got bored with it. And also couldn't figure out the reason for calculus to save my life. Yeah, go play with the phone. Be able to see. Yoink. Yes, well, I've had a lot of practice trying to explain it to myself first. But I've also had some experience. I mean, last year I was actually took my giant robot to the fair, local fair for, how long was it? 12 days or so? Something like that. And boy, oh boy, did I start getting used to being a people person. Well, it helps that I also worked at a call center just a couple months beforehand, so really got me into the spirit of communication. Because apparently I'm a very friendly person. Who would have thunk it? I have no clue how the algorithm works, whether there's like some magical minimum time you need in order to get notice for live streams. But I figure do what every other YouTuber I've seen does, go for about an hour. And call it like, there you go. Does this work, chess piece would work? Nah, too narrow. Need to get more cardboard. More. 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 What? I just took a look at my reference material and zoobity doo. There we go. Let's see here. Cut the abdominal plate, which is there. There, I guess. The old snipperoo. Something I need to figure out is how to stream to multiple platforms. Well, not figure out how to stream it. I know how to use OBS, but what I need to do is figure out if I've got a graphics card kicking around that I can put in my workstation in the garage so I can run OBS. Oh, yes, you're having a three-way with two printers, eh? I'm so much cooler online. Anyone know that song? Latest T Judd? I think it is. So much cooler online. No? Just me? Am I a country hick? Probably. And in case you're wondering what cardboard I'm using, it's from Chewy because, well, got a couple cats. And getting stuff online is a lot easier than trying to hunt it down in a store, let me tell you. There we go. Let's just scribble out these lines here. Do I have a fat Sharpie available? Probably not. Probably left it downstairs. Me oh my. No. Just do that. And just scribble on lines. Do-do-do-do-do. When it comes to big projects, you never want to multitask on stuff. You always just want to do one thing at a time. Figure out your game plan. Know what you're going to do for the time, for the day. Makes it a lot less intimidating. Because if I just started trying to, make a giant robot together all at once, it would have been a disaster. But instead, I just focus on the various systems. So you start with one aspect, one thing, then you go from there. I mean, still, it's a good idea to plan everything before you start, but, when you're physically moving stuff around, one thing at a time. It's like that Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time. Then at the end of it, he's got a whole Corvette or something from 1945 to 1954, has all the years. Alright, so whoop. Let's try to lift it up proper. There we go. Look at that. Not bad for a bit of a free-form template. Now, of course, this thing is not just going to be a cardboard goofy suit. No. I'm going to be covering it with fiberglass resin and the automotive DIYer's best friend, rondo. So it's going to be nice and stiff, be able to survive walking around at a convention or whatever. Survive chonking around in front of the press. They're going to look pretty. There we go. We must roll our cardboard. Make it auto nice and roundo. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a cardboard box because I essentially will be a cardboard sandwich between Bondo and fiberglass. Well, that's a concern I never thought of. What happens to the cardboard sandwich in between? Does it stay, there? Will it eventually rot? What's going to happen with it? There we go. Other way. There we go. And let's get a couple nuts and bolts and temporarily put the stuff together. Battery. Yoo-hoo. Battery. Where'd you go? Aha. I found the battery. Oh. So one. Oh. Nah. Ideally, I'd be putting this together with hot glue, but I forgot my hot glue gun inside. And I don't know where my glue sticks went. I should probably order another box of them. There we go. One. Ooh. Ooh. Two. Hey, the waifu was out of the picture. There we go. Are you looking at me? Well, I suppose. Then let these flaps, I guess. Yeah. Can't see it much, huh? No, well. All right. Okay. We've hit the magical hour mark. So, I mean, I've got a 3D model that I think I might use instead. Here, I'll pull it up on the computer and point the camera at it. Okay, let's see here. We're gonna go to the Bringstorm server because that's where I kept my picture. Come on. Move up. There we go. There we go. There. Okay. So hopefully you can see the screen. There we go. Look at that beautiful 3D model I done made. Let me turn off the lights so the glare ain't on there. There we go. Check that out, and it should be all perfectly proportionalized and stuff to the power armor. So I think I might, messing around with the cardboard. I think I'm just gonna go with a whole papercraft Pepakura sort of shtick and then do the fiberglass on that because freeforming cardboard is a pain in the butt. Then, that's why we do these things. We experiment to learn and all that fun stuff. Again, you think working with cardboard is easy, but not so much. There's a workshop waifu. Look at them eyes. Shiny. Okay. Oop. Okay, there's my 10. Oh yeah, I've got all the goo that I need. It's around here somewhere. I had it. But I lost it. No, I have to buy more. But yeah, there's people who have actually made their Halo costumes and whatnot using fiberglass resin with cloth underneath it because I really want to save all my metal sheets for the. I really want to save my metal sheets for making a Maddox armor set because the Maddox, looking at it closely, seems to be one of the most practical power armor applications I've probably seen in fiction. Except possibly besides the Mark 1 Iron Man suit. I mean, that thing is just practical chonk right there. But hey, the metal makes an awesome wibbly noise. A cartoon sound effect. I mean, I've also done a little bit of fiberglassing on my van, so I kind of know how that works. And plus, it's the summertime, so the temperature is going to be very good for it. Although I am hoping to get the Hulkbuster set done before the end of June, as the convention is. Here's where I put it. I've got the resins and the cloth. So, how much of it I'll need, I'm not sure, but that's what I'll be figuring out. Yeah, that's the thing about power armor and stuff. If you just got a suit, that's one thing. But if you have it that looks like a fictional suit, that's a whole other ball game, because then it's like, you made it real. You made the Hulkbuster or the Yggdrasil or the Darling in the Franks mech real. And people will be like sharing it, going, "Ooh, it's real! Oh boy! Just like my favorite animes, I want it so much. Oh my goodness! Yum 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 yum." Did I do a good fanboy impression? I hope so. Well, this is mostly what Mechnomancy entails: puttering around, grabbing what you need to work on little fiddly bits. Take your time. Try not to stress out, because if you stress out, well, then you don't do your best work. And if you don't do your best work, well, you can end up smushing yourself. Case in point. No, you can't see me. No, well. But I suppose we've hit the magical number for the required duration of a stream. So, oh, isn't that a nice picture, huh? Let's go straight in the camera. Squeaky, squeaky. Oh, it's looking at you. It is staring into your soul. Dun dun dun. It sees everything. And it's very disappointed in you. That's a problem. Cameras don't really get light levels right, so everything looks kind of funky. Well, that was unsettling. Ghost in the Machine, ooh. Prospect Zero, you mean Installation Zero? Making his Halo helmet? Yeah, I think he's just making a Halo helmet. Yeah, he's making a Halo helmet, but thing is, I've already got a HUD installed in the power armor over there. $150K. The Yggdrasil cost me $1K. What's he making it out of? Platinum? Oh, jeez. Is he going to be open sourcing the armor, or going to be keeping the secret to himself? don't even know if it's going to be powered, then what's the point of making a Halo suit if it's not even going to be powered? I mean, the 405th, lots of people. The 405th is a Halo costuming form, and they make Halo costumes out the wazoo. And they even have it specifically on the forums. Hey, don't talk about making this body armor. We're against that. So a lot of people have tried. And this thing, even with the 22 gauge steel, let me put the chest on. Here. So I can show you what I mean. Oh. Is it fun? I mean, really, what's the point of making Halo armor if it doesn't enhance your strength or something? Huh? I mean, the reason why I want to build a Madox armor set is so I can install drone motors in it and try to fly around. Because power armor without anything that actually increases your mobility turns you into a sitting duck. Making it bulletproof. There's no such thing as bulletproof, though. There's bullet resistant, which you can actually do with just a crap load of fiberglass cloth. Yeah, in Halo, it's something like there's liquid crystally hoo-ha that multiplies the strength in some magical space BS. But where did I put my hammer? Oh. The waifu was holding it. But, even with this thin metal, not this because this is aluminum flashing, so it's like paper thin. But this stuff right here, this is a 22 gauge, and yeah. We'll get a little closer. Oh yes, and there's the Spartans and their advanced super strength and all that and whatnot, but let's be honest, making the squeak. You see the power armor dong? Yes, you can. Let's be frank, making a Spartan IRL is not exactly possible, so we'll have to stick with stuff like the Yggdrasil hunting armor, and so far, even with this thin stuff, barely a dent. Yes, it wiggles around a bit because I haven't gotten it on there properly, but you put like some layers of fiberglass and ceramic roof tile behind that, and you have something pretty bullet resistant. But, it would be kind of heavy, thus the reason why you need a framework to hold the entire thing up. Yeah. That's a problem. People can be vague. I mean, did he say he was going to open source it? Because even if it wasn't a powered suit, if it was just like a bullet resistant armor thing, that'd be cool. But I suppose in the next stream I'll get the extra long webcam cable fixed. That way I can show off the HUD. Because I actually do have a HUD inside that thing. There we go. It's just there's like an extra screen in there and stuff that requires a power source, and it's not really hooked up in the moment, so it would be a pain to try. Uh, Probably the vagueness is why he's only got like 15K, because he doesn't actually have, like a plan or anything, or even a proof of concept. Because this right here, I think is a great proof of concept. Yes, the only problem is I need more reach. I probably got to get around to doing marketing stuff, promoting YouTube ads, and probably do that collaboration with Megabots about my upcoming competition when things get more solidified. So, probably after my convention where I go recruiting a few people, maybe want to build their own or whatever. Once I know if I actually got any competition in whether or not the robots can, knock each other's heads off or whatever. So I'm going to be calling it in night, actually. I've got to do overtime tomorrow morning, so that means I got to be at my desk tacking away at 6:30. So I'm going to be calling it there. I hope you all have a good night or day or whatever it is you are currently having. Bye-bye.